about whether Tamra was going to return to RHOC. She has returned, and apparently someone told me that despite everything Teddy is going through, that Kelly Dodd wants to focus on people's looks, and she is disgusted with Shannon's hair and Tamra's arms based on the clips that are surfacing online.
Ellie
It's
Dodd.
always great when people slip into my DMs and keep me posted on Kelly. But Tamra's back at work, in case you were wondering if she quit and gave up the $1 million herself. She's all of a sudden she feels much better. How do you
She
feel
feels
about
better.
this?
I mean, I already knew it was fake because the way that she posted it and then it was on every account and it was everywhere, she had planned this. Like, no, you're not Selena Gomez when you post on your stories and then it goes viral. Like, no one cares about Tamra Judge's stories that much. So she had to go and kind of pitch this and sell it. So I'm like, and then people were saying that she's using Teddy's disease as like a stepping stone. I was just like, and then Teddy was like on her podcast saying, I came here even though you're depressed, I'm showing up. And again, like the way that Teddy is showing all the internal scans and the scars, I don't need it. Like I'm just not someone who's interested in that. But like if that's what her journey is, like I don't judge that. But I just feel like the two of them, it's just getting a little dark.
I've never listened to their podcast. I mean, apparently everyone else does. And I don't think I'm going to start now. I'm going to pass on this one.
I'm good.
What do you think about this? Tom Sandoval has spoken out and has said, everyone needs to move on. Like the world should move on, but everyone needs to move on, whether you agree or not with what I did. And that he says if he were picked to be a traitor in the House, he would have gotten up and walked out. If Alan picked him, he never would have stayed. If he said, "You're a traitor," he would have said, "This is not going to help my reputation, and I'm leaving the show." Do we believe Tom Sandoval would have walked off and given the money up on the traders?
No. The only good thing Tom Sandoval's ever done in his life is do drag. That one time with Jax. That was the best thing that man's done. And that's it. Like, I just think that what Tom Sandoval does not understand is that people don't like him not because of what he did to Ariana. They don't like him because he's annoying. Like, he is annoying. He's kind of an asshole. I've worked with him. I already moved on from the cheating. I mean, people cheat on each other. I mean, everyone on that cast cheat on each other. The way he did it
Mhm.
was horrible. Ariana didn't deserve it. They were pretty much married, right? Like at that point. Like I'm not excusing his behavior. I'm just saying he acts like everyone's mad at him because of what he did. They are not. They are actually mad about the way you handled it after, the way that you have capitalized on it. You've gone on every show, special forces, traders. Like, even in there, you said, oh, I would never be unfaithful. Like, and then he said, no, I meant traitor. Like, dude, like, you're a meme at this point. You're so annoying.
He's
That's,
just like that typical, I said it before, that typical Hollywood
yes.
40 something just
Yep. There's 100 of
guy.
them. There's a
There's
hundred of
a
them.
hundred of him
If you
here.
go to Chateau Marmont on a Saturday, you will see
Hmm.
150 Tom Sandovals.
Hmm.
So I don't know I think people in the Midwest, and I'm not trying to like shade the Midwest, but people that don't live in New York like you or LA like me, they don't understand that like there are so many Tom Sandovals. They're like, wow, he's such a villain. Not really.
Not really. He's like a dime a dozen here. People come with broken dreams
Yeah.
to Hollywood, and he has, by the standards of what exists in this town, he has made it. Like he is, people would kill to be in his situation.
Mhm. Mhm.
He trashed Chriselle and said basically like I don't know why you came after me. You met Ariana once and you asked her for a selfie and followed her on Instagram. That was 6 years ago. Stop trying to act like you're Ariana's best friends. And he said basically what does Ariana think about him being redeemed in the public eyes? In the public eye. I'm like, first of all, I'm not so sure he's been so redeemed in most people's books, but he's like, well, she's moved on, so right? Isn't that what she says? So I assume she doesn't think much of it. I'm like, just pass on the question, Tom, because if you're putting Ariana's name in your mouth again, she ain't gonna be happy. But it was somewhat complimentary in that he was like, she's moved on. I'm sure she doesn't care. So that was, I guess, kind of
Okay.
nice.
That's good. I mean, I just feel like every time she had that People Style Watch interview, then he does an interview where he has to kind of shit on her. It's like just leave her alone. She said she's never coming to Vanderpump. She has no interest in doing this. She was already half in it anyway. When I talked to her, it was the same thing. She's like, I don't even want to do reality TV. It just these are my friends, and to hang out with them, I had to film. She's like, and she said it. She's like, I did it for Tom.
She says she did it for Tom. Well, now she has a real hosting gig, which is a real job.
It is a real job.
Like, and that is, I mean, look at second season. If this could just be your thing that you do every year for however many years it lasts, it's a real gig.
It's a real gig, and these Love Island shows don't go away. So I think for
Mm-mm.
and people are now commenting. I saw in her comments with her boyfriend, like, "Oh, you moved on from this relationship to that." She can do whatever she wants. If it's working for her, like, why do you care? I mean, I think people at this point went from like really championing her, which is very Hollywood. We love you, build you up, and then they like to throw people down. So now they're in the phase of like Ariana sucks, like Tom is amazing. Okay.
Well, Candy Burris, Shamia from Real Housewives of Atlanta said she got her best advice for now that she's a peach holder from Candy. And Candy has said, don't read the comments, don't live in the comments. And let me tell you something, girl. They love you today and they will hate you tomorrow. So whatever you think you're doing with your edit and life is great, because Shamia is getting a great edit this season. I love her. She's like, trust me, they will hate you tomorrow. They are not your friends. Block and delete and move on. And I'm like, that is beyond the best advice.
That's the
That's
best.
what I do. Block, delete, and move on. I have some
Yes.
very loyal listeners, but
No, absolutely.
lots of people that love you today will hate you tomorrow.
They will. And even the good comments, like when I've had videos go viral on TikTok years ago, like you'd get like a flood of thousands of comments, and all of a sudden it would get to your head. And then you would hit like a depressed moment because then all of a sudden your next video has 100 views.
Hmm.
And you're like, oh my God, like nobody cares about me. And they kind of don't. Like you're kind of the
They
belle of the
don't.
ball, and then they throw you out. So that was the best advice. I don't know who said, I can't remember who said this to me, but or maybe I heard it somewhere.
Well,
Like,
maybe you heard it through osmosis from me because I
yes,
say it
no,
all
you
the
said
time.
you heard it.
I do. You have to if you can never ever ever give credence to the good comments because that
Yes.
means that you give credence to the bad comments and that means that your self-worth is determined by external factors and that is a losing fucking battle. That will be it's no life.
Absolutely. And that's what it was.
There
I
you
was like
go.
looking for all the good comments for a while. Then I started looking for only the bad comments. And then I would get into it with them back. And you think that if someone writes, you're an idiot, do you think that you're going to be able to convince them otherwise? They may
No.
make up their mind. Yeah.
Correct. You just block and move on. There's nothing you can say to this person it will go back and forth between now and next year at this time. They will never, whatever you say, they will never give you the last word. And
Yeah.
your goal in life is not to convince someone to like you.
Absolutely.
I am on a soapbox today,
Yes, honey. I
apparently.
love it. I love the soapbox. I agree. I agree.
Well, Tom also says when asked about the Valley, that depends. He'll have to make that decision.